Yaps. It's in the name. The legend is retiring. Virat Kohli, he is done from Test cricket. Let's see what this is all about.
Virat Kohli has retired from Test cricket.
Look at the king. Look at the majestic lion out in the field.
The man who redefined the format for quite a few generations bids a silent adieu. 9,230 runs, 30 centuries, 31 half centuries. Records don't define the magnitude Kohli leaves in the longest format of the game. From a brash youngster to being christened King Kohli, generations watched in awe as Kohli expanded horizons that redefined greatness over time. Here's looking back at the legacy set by Kohli, one that took Test cricket to greater heights.
Growing this community, you guys have definitely. I could talk about cricket now. Now, granted, me being in America, no one really messes with cricket, and I don't know cricket to that level. But I definitely have a newfound respect for cricket, and I have a love and an admiration for this guy, because not only did he play his heart out on the field every single time he stepped onto it, but off the field, he was working out, trying to say the right things to his teammates online for entertainment, to motivate the younger generations to push themselves so that they can understand that one day they can grow up and don the king and wear the crown just as he did.
Hundreds in both innings of his Test captaincy debut, the only man to do so besides Greg Chappell till date. If batter Kohli dictated terms on the pitch, Captain Kohli reiterated how it's to be done.
You see what I mean about Captain Kholi? About just not only him playing was pivotal, but him as a leader was crucial.
Stand-in skipper for MS Dhoni in Adelaide 2014, Virat Kohli dropped Ashwin for Karan Sharma, citing wrist spin as a more attacking option. Big calls? Not the first. Definitely not the last. While India failed to win that test or the series,
so he's kind of like Shotzi. If you guys follow Call of Duty, he's like the warlord.
It underlined a potent problem: the inability to clean up the tail. Over the course of his tenure as captain, Kohli heralded a new generation of fast bowlers, one that would pick 20 wickets at will, at home and away.
This is where you have to credit Virat Kohli for his passion towards Test cricket, for heralding this red ball fast bowling revolution. As I had said on Crickbuzz earlier, Virat Kohli made Test cricket cool again.
That he did. And granted, I still think Test cricket, is that the few-hour format or is that the multi-day format? Let me know in the comments down below. Because I like the few-hour format where you can go to a stadium with the night and maybe go grab dinner, watch a game, come home. Like, that's cool. But like a 5-day event, that's crazy.
Virat was a dream because as a captain, he led from the front. He was probably one of the fittest Indian cricketers ever. And when a captain is so passionate about fitness, everybody bought into it. And therein started our journey of the #1 team.
That's what I love
to
hear.
By 2015, the signs of change were apparent. He helped India win a series in Sri Lanka for the first time in 22 years. The following year, he led India to a series win in the West Indies, the first Indian captain to win 2 tests in the island nation. In the first test of the Windies series, Kohli scored a perfect 200, the first and only double hundred by an Indian captain away from home. From his maiden test century to the final ton, Kohli's achievements in Australia stand a cut above the rest. As captain, he led India to their maiden series win down under, reiterating that there are no inevitabilities in sport, only probabilities. In fact, that 2018-19 series win was the first time any Asian side had triumphed against the Baggy Greens in Australia. Once the apprentice to the master, Kohli's test ton in 2024, his 30th, was also the 7th test century by an Indian in Australia, surpassing Sachin Tendulkar's tally of 600s.
That was cool.
I'm an Australian cricketer. I love Australian cricket teams winning, not being on the back foot, but you've got to acknowledge greatness when you see it. And there was a lot of emotion and a great deal of greatness, if that's the term, because it was Virat Kohli.
Yeah, even the Australians, they're like, damn, that Indian, he's pretty good.
While Kohli's partnerships on the field were a treat to watch, the one with Ravi Shastri off it was what defined greatness for Indian Test cricket. Right up there among the great wins will be the one at Johannesburg in 2018, where despite a series loss, India conjured up a terrific fight to
Look at the elevation he's got. Like, his knee is basically up to everyone's shoulders. Damn.
clinch the third test. In a series where all 120 wickets fell for the first and only time in a 3-test match series, Kohli emerged the highest run getter. En route, he surpassed Sunil Gavaskar and MS Dhoni to become the highest scoring captain in India's history.
All you MS Dhoni fans, what's your clap back? Because right now, the king is looking pretty kingly.
If the 2014 tour to England was a sorry sight for Indian fans, 2018 was what everyone looked up to. James Anderson versus Virat Kohli was a derby that surpassed the teams, but unlike 2014, the former failed to dismiss the latter even once. Despite 2 terrific centuries, Kohli failed to go past the finish line. England won the series 4-1. Come 2021, Kohli regrouped. After avoiding defeat in the first test, India were on the brink of staving defeat in the second as well. But all that changed quickly following a war cry from the general.
Let's give them hell for 60 overs must go down as one of the great lines in Indian cricket history.
That's
because,
cool.
You know, in the last
We're down. Let's give them hell, boys.
few years, the cameras have become, I wouldn't say intrusive, but they've got closer. They're allowed to get closer. The resolution is so good. So it's almost like the camera is part of the huddle when you get into the huddle. And that conversation there, I think even in the commentary team, even in the media, they are watching that and they're saying, hang on, what's happening here? This is a war general. I hate giving war analogies, but that is what it was. This is a war general saying, let's go on the rampage. Let's give them hell. And this is Virat territory, isn't it? Virat territory isn't, let's hang in there for 2 days, guys, and let's slowly, drip by drip, suck everything out of them. Virat territory is, I'm in your face, come get me, I'm at you. This is straight play.
That's the energy that I love.
It was not like there was a lot of time. So this was Virat playing Virat as well as Virat could ever play.
India not only wrapped the test match inside 52 overs, but by the end of the 4th test, India led the series 2-1. India were on the brink of history.
Ground
COVID struck
slipped away.
and India's fortune suffered. By the time the 5th test match came along, in 2022, Kohli had relinquished test captaincy. The one-off test loss that came a year later meant that India's wait for a series win in England since 2007 continued. India also lost the WTC final in 2021, an unwanted feat that they'd repeat come 2023. From heralding a new generation of fast bowlers to expressing that India should have 5 proper test centres to host the format, Kohli never shied away from the big calls. In an era where T20 cricket gripped the imagination of a nation, Virat Kohli made Test cricket cool again. He signs off as India's greatest Test captain, Indian with most double hundreds, and one who stood the test of time.
Now my thoughts for Virat, now that he is done, and this is the hardest part for any athlete, and this is, I'm speaking on myself. In my early 20s, I got to play paintball, and I got to win, and I got to play at the highest levels, and I too, like Virat, got to fly close to the sun. And there's days where you go back and you're like, man, I'm never going to get the same feeling, the same high that I did then ever again in life. So I'm going to be very curious. What does he do to stay involved? What does he do to keep pushing himself physically, mentally? And honestly, the most important one is probably spiritually. Like, how is he going to stay okay with not competing and putting his all on the field for everyone to see? I know it may not make sense for some of you, but for the others who have played sports and have played at a high level and who have stepped away because of time, life, you'll understand. You'll pick up what I'm putting down. But with that said, make somebody laugh today. maybe go play some cricket with your friends and make somebody laugh. There's enough hate, there's enough anger, there's enough nastiness out in the world. So let's spread some love, let's spread some laughter, let's spread some joy, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.